Welcome back to the channel. In today's proceedings, there's exciting developments around Virgin Atlantic. An airline is going to be flying the Airbus A330neos for the first time, and Aer Lingus is reportedly set to ground aircraft. Why not begin there with Aer Lingus to ground planes across its operation to combat ongoing challenges across its business. Driven by passenger caps at its home of Dublin Airport, the airline will need to assess its overall day-to-day operation and make necessary but difficult cuts. Passenger caps aren't just a threat for Aer Lingus. Other airports right around the world have been acting in similar fashion and causing turmoil for the airlines that call these places home. Cuts in capacity at major international locations can dramatically affect an airline's schedule and mean it can't meet demand that is present. The most recent example was the turmoil experienced at Amsterdam Schiphol in the last 12 months. As highlighted by the Irish Independent, Aer Lingus is struggling also with profitability, affecting overall investment opportunities. An inability to be profitable to the extent required is a concern, and Aer Lingus knows this. The airline wasn't afraid to state that profitability would allow the renewal of the fleet, aid further growth, investment in key technologies to keep up with its competitors, and much more critical components of growing a business. But without the profitability margins required, these fundamental changes will not be possible, at least for the time being, and therefore changes must be required to ensure the airline is fit to fly for the long term. Talks of downsizing is hardly a new development. This is a hot topic of conversation across Ireland and analysts, the broader public as well, all closely examining the state of the airline. The company's CEO has confirmed that aircraft across the Airbus family will be grounded. So, from this, one A330 is expected to be parked, and the A320 operations are also expected to be scaled back. However, the airline hasn't also ruled out further fleet reduction if this was to, say, be required to turn around its fortunes while stabilizing other core elements of the business. Based on the most recent fleet data provided, Aer Lingus has a fleet of 55 aircraft. Of these, it includes A330s and A320 family jets. Looking ahead, the overall scale back is required, especially as Aer Lingus gears up for the arrival of a new aircraft type, that is your next generation A321XLR, elevating aspects of the business and also providing fresh opportunities. While the XLR is a very exciting prospect, it can't be viewed as the sole answer to Aer Lingus's problems. Instead, the aircraft will help propel it towards markets it believes it can be successful in. But key challenges, such as increasing levels of competition, will remain, and Aer Lingus needs to find ways to navigate this. Given the state the airline is in, just before acquiring a new aircraft, it faces the terrible prospect of having too many assets, making its operation unsustainable. Changes are also set to extend to staff, with a redundancy scheme being mentioned, and also this will be done through a freeze on hiring to be implemented in a bid to stabilise core business aspects. Over to exciting news at Virgin Atlantic, and this is a rather short segment here, but stick with me. They're making some changes to their 2024-25 winter season, with the UK-based company to operate flights between its home of London Heathrow and Brussels in Belgium, with a different ambition to what an airline would be previously doing. Utilising the A330-300 and also the next generation A350-1000, the airline will focus more than ever on London Heathrow to Brussels flights for cargo transportation during what is described as a peak period for this. Interestingly, the airline highlights that the service will focus on the reliable transportation of time-critical goods, such as pharmaceuticals and perishables. The chief commercial officer explained this further, stating that during the winter period, we will operate service to Brussels, a destination we are familiar with, having flown there successfully during the COVID-19 pandemic. This new service will transport a range of goods, including the perishables and pharmaceuticals I just mentioned, offering fast connections for our customers between Brussels and the wider European region and Virgin Atlantic's extensive route network via London Heathrow. Now, Nowadays, these critical items that are transported from Heathrow to other hubs across Europe are done so by truck services. But Virgin believes it can do this really important task better and in a more efficient and faster manner. Flights are going to operate from the 27th of October through to the 29th of March next year, and companies will, thanks to this, be offered the opportunity to export and import goods. The export-import will focus on Europe and the United Kingdom and utilize these aircraft I mentioned to foster greater air connectivity during the colder months with the state-of-the-art aircraft. And speaking on aircraft, now it is the A330neo's time to shine. T-Way Air, a South Korean-based company, has really been hellbent on developing its fleet after a very last successful few years and reaching a total fleet size of 15 units. Most recently, we saw them announce a new deal for the 737 MAX, and the fleet plans are set to grow further, with the Korea Economy Daily reporting that T-Way will introduce the next generation A330neo from Airbus to flights right around the world, choosing the Dash 900 specifically. The airline then went on to confirm the plan, introducing up to 5 A330-900s from 2025 onwards. Acquiring these aircraft has been possible thanks to an agreement with leading aircraft lessor Aviation. This company is known for providing solutions to requirements on airlines on a short-term notice, and this would include T-Way Air, whether that is with the ambition of growing your fleet or to a certain extent coping with maybe conditions that mean you can't operate planes as you would intend. That could be your Pratt & Whitney engine crisis, or maybe you're dealing with aircraft delivery delays. The acquisition of the A330neo will complement the airline's existing commitment to the A330ceo, which is currently the plane present that enables long-haul flying and higher capacity flying over its present 737s. Data indicates the airline has 8 A330s to its name, and this is spread across the A330-200 and A330-300, with 1 unit listed as parked. But that number is continuing to grow. While it comes with a hefty average age of 14 years, the A330-200s have all been delivered in 2024 as part of their growth targets, and that focus is expected to continue, as I touched on at the beginning. While these aircraft, the A330ceos, do serve a fantastic purpose for the airline, it wouldn't really be a mystery as to why T-Way Air may want to be looking to add a plane like the A330neo to help develop its fleet moving into the future. Not only is this a next generation plane that is obviously more modern and comes with truckloads of efficiency, but it will bring down the average fleet age. With deliveries set to commence in 2025, the airline expects the 5 units to arrive over 2 years, with deliveries concluding in 2027, permitting there are no hiccups in that schedule to occur on Airbus's part. The A330neo will enable flying to existing but also new markets, and I'll get into some of those markets, with T-Way looking at various different locations for eventual deployment. All these locations on the radar stretch from Europe to the United States and even as far as Canada, with the A330neo being pitted as optimal for not just long-haul flying, but also medium-haul services from South Korea. And remember, despite a slow start and many periods where the A330neo maybe struggled to acquire core interest, the program has roared back to life and enjoyed quite a lot of firm commitments in recent years, with many major international airlines backing the plane through leasing arrangements or firm orders. That'll conclude today's industry recap. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thanks a bunch for your support. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
And we'll fly.